Lesson 5. Validate your buyer's willingness to pay. This is where a hobby becomes a business. You can have the skills, the demand, and a great proposition, and still not have a business until someone actually pays. This one depends on the value proposition statement and customer profile you built last time, because you can't design a real validation offer without already knowing exactly who you're offering it to and what pain it relieves. Without that, you'd be pitching a stranger. In this episode, you'll design a low-commitment validation offer, reach out to real people who match your customer profile, and calculate your actual conversion rate. Have your value proposition close by. You're about to test it for real. You can have all the skills, demand, and a great proposition, and still not have a business until someone actually pays. This lesson is about proving that they will. It introduces minimum viable validation, creating a simple offer, like a beta program or a low-price service, and presenting it to a small audience. The goal isn't revenue, it's evidence of a transaction, because that proves demand and commitment beyond just words. Pre-orders, sign-ups, and letters of intent all count as real validation. First, willingness to pay is the single most important metric for whether a business is actually viable. Validation is a process of asking for commitment, not asking for opinions. A pre-sale or beta program is a far stronger signal than a survey asking, "Would you buy this?" Start with a small, manageable ask before you try to scale anything. And not every no is a failure. It's a data point that refines your offer. First, the beta framework. Build a simple landing page for your idea. Engage a small audience through social or email. Test the offer with a real call to action like join the wait list, and act on what the results tell you. It's a fast, low-cost way to test willingness to pay. Second, pricing anchoring. A behavioral economics principle where people's sense of value gets shaped by a reference price. Showing a high anchor price before your actual lower launch price can increase both perceived value and willingness to pay for that lower offer. This lesson is the market's final exam. The core claim is that a yes in conversation is worthless. A yes in a transaction is everything. Back in Lesson 4, you built a value proposition statement and a detailed customer profile. Now you're going to design a real, low-risk experiment to test whether that proposition actually gets people to act. The output isn't a sale exactly. It's a clear metric, the percentage of people willing to take a genuine transactional step. This lesson forces you to act, not just plan, and the output for this lesson is your validation conversion rate, a real number you'll carry into your final decision. Create a simple, low-commitment offer your customer can actually say yes to: a free audit, a $5 guide, a beta membership, a 30-day challenge, something that involves an exchange. Something like a free 15-minute niche discovery call for a service business, or early bird pricing of $29 for a product. Next, identify 20 to 50 people who match the customer profile you built last time. Reach out through LinkedIn, email, or a social post, and present the offer directly, without pressure. "Hey Sarah, I noticed you're launching a course. I'm beta testing a new launch checklist. Would you be interested in an early copy for $29? Then track who responds and who actually takes the transactional step, and calculate your conversion rate. 10 to 20% is a genuinely powerful signal. Get your PDF ready to log the results as they come in. Define a specific, low-commitment validation offer. Create a simple landing page or email to present it. Reach out to 25 or more target customers. Track and record every response. Then calculate your conversion rate and write it down. That conversion rate is the single most important piece of data you'll generate in this whole workbook. Next, you're going to combine it with your asset inventory, your demand data, and your competition data into a final niche scorecard. An SEO freelancer was unsure whether there was a real market for SEO for online course creators, a great value proposition, but no actual customers, and real hesitation about investing time into a niche that might not pay. So they offered a free 30-minute SEO audit to course creators in their network. They reached out to 20 people. 12, 60%, said yes to the audit. Of those 12, 33%, signed up for a monthly retainer afterward. That's $4,000 a month in real, recurring revenue from a test that cost nothing but time. What low-commitment offer could you make that gets a potential buyer to signal, "I'm interested"? something that costs them a little time or a small amount of money, nothing more. Write the exact message you'd send to 10 potential customers for this test. Make it direct and customer-focused, not vague. And if you landed a 30% conversion rate on your own validation offer, how would that change your confidence in this niche? And what would you actually do next? The most common shortcut is avoiding the ask for money altogether. If you don't ask, you don't know. A yes in conversation isn't validation. A yes, here's my card, is validation. Real completion looks like an actual number in your spreadsheet, a conversion rate, even a 0% one, because that's still a result. This validation data is a key input for your niche scorecard next, and a strong number here can outweigh a strong demand score. Watch the trap of treating a maybe or a great idea as validation. It's not. It's a polite social signal. Only a transaction actually validates. Pause and pull out your validation results worksheet. Write down your specific validation offer. Keep it clear, simple, and genuinely transactional. Then log your test results. The number of people you contacted, be specific here, the number who actually converted, and your final conversion rate, calculated as a percentage. This data is the most concrete evidence you'll have in the entire workbook, and it goes directly into your niche scorecard next lesson. Check validation offer defined. Once you've designed a specific offer, check 50+ target customers contacted. Once you've actually reached a real audience, not just planned to. Check responses and data recorded. Once every response is tracked in a spreadsheet. And check the final one, conversion rate calculated, once you know your actual final number. With all four checked, you have real data, a critical step from planning into action, and the bedrock your final decision is going to rest on next. Here's the validation score calculator. For each niche idea, log the offer you tested, the number of people contacted, the number of conversions, and the resulting conversion rate. A rate above 15% is a strong signal. Below 10% is a genuine red flag worth paying attention to before you commit further. Write your validation statement in this format. I contacted X people with an offer of your offer. Why? People said yes, giving me a conversion rate of Z%. This means, and actually finish that last sentence. This forces you to put real-world evidence into words instead of leaving it as just a number on a page. Pause and write yours now. What was the most uncomfortable part of asking for validation? Was it the fear of hearing no? How did it actually feel when you got one? And how does a no genuinely give you valuable data, rather than just feeling like rejection? For everyone who said no, ask yourself why. Was your offer unclear? Was the problem not big enough? Could your audience have been wrong entirely? Write down 2 or 3 specific hypotheses about the no's you got. What are 3 decisions you'll make based on the validation data you just collected? Pivoting to a new niche, doubling down on this one, or drastically changing your offer to lift that conversion rate? Name them. Next time, you take this number, along with everything from every lesson before it, and put it all into one final decision matrix, your niche scorecard.